Yo, I never Dwayne, I never Drake. On my life, man, say, if I did, I menage with him, let him eat my like a cupcake. My man fool, he just ate on duck, nobody but tape. Yeah, that was a setup for a punchline on duct tape. Worry about my what fake? Worry about y'all just straight. These girls are my what's that? You ladies said 2 p.m. It's 2:02, and it was 2:01 when I started. I think. Hey, how you doing, Blue? How you doing, Ashley? I thought I was gonna have to hunt you down. Les twins. You shall not. 2 p.m. And y'all know the crazy thing is, I actually was sitting here since like 1:55, but I got on TikTok and I got sidetracked because somebody was rapping only, with Drake, Lil Wayne, and Nicki. And I sat there and I was rapping the whole thing. Then I looked up, I said, shit. One time day, how you doing, Ryan Brown? It's good to tell me. Tell me you just got on. Miss Creates. Yes, MS Creates. I literally just got on. We have not gotten started yet. So it is time for y'all to sit on down, get in. Today's story is a lot. It's a long story today. Like, we're going to be sitting here and it's going to take a minute for me to actually tell this story because there's so much information. And I didn't even go through, oh, that's much better. I didn't even go through, but the court case and stuff like that. But y'all, get ready. Get ready. Also, somebody said they got their hot chocolate. How you doing, Jazz, with your hot chocolate? Yeah, the weather is starting to get a little cool out here. It's starting to get a little cool. And somehow it's still hot in my house. It's cooler outside than it is in my house. I'm trying to figure that out. And I got the air on. I don't get it. But y'all, welcome in. Get on down. Get down with the get down. Today's story, we're going to be talking about a lot. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. In today's story, everybody sucks. We're just going to be honest. This is actually going to be my cup that I got for today. Since we're in Halloween, October, I forgot that this thing, it's a little ghost. I got it from Dollar Tree, and it's got a crack in it. So, I mean, I guess it's worth $1.50. But, all right. You're on while I make dinner. Well, MG, I'm glad you're going to be making dinner while listening to me. So, y'all, today's story, be prepared to be sitting there for about an hour. I'm gonna try to not to make it go too much longer than an hour because there was a lot. Like, look at this. All this is one story. All of this is one story. There's so much information about this. So if you guys saw the video that I posted yesterday on TikTok, it was a very, very, very condensed version. Like, I didn't tell you a quarter of the information that's actually available in this story, and it was still longer than 3 minutes. So get ready. Get ready for today's story. Get ready for today's story. It is 2:05 because I started at 2:01 and 30 seconds or 2:02, whatever. But when I started at 2:02, we're going to start at 2:09. I like to start at 2:07, but y'all know. Shannon Walls, how you doing? Bonita, dang, I'll go check it out. Don't do it just yet. Wait. All right. On my way, 2 times in a row I caught you. Good, Robbins Rain. Keep that streak going. Keep that streak going. All right. Southside B down DPWN. Hey, how you doing? Tasha? What's up, Crystal? What's up, Crystal, baby? How you doing? The boss. What's up, the boss? Y'all doing good? Get ready for a story. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I believe everybody in this story sucks. Everybody in this story sucks. Like, it truly is a sucky story. The only innocent people are the children. It's terrible. Which, by the way, let you guys know, since today's story, we'll be dealing with children getting a little bit of a trigger warning. A little bit of a trigger warning. So if you don't want to hear it, you might want to think about that before we get started, because yeah, a couple of kids get it, and I mean get it. Okay, yeah, this story is actually dealing with the UK. Who's from the UK? Who's in the UK right now? Where the UK people at? Anybody in the UK? What's up, Kay? Kay from the UK. This was happening. Becca from the UK. Not me. Tennessee. Y'all gonna... Yeah, every time I get on here, I keep forgetting to buy that doggone Ike Turner weed because y'all get on here and be doing it. South London, okay, that's what's happening. Alicia Latrice. Bexicles, that's what I'm talking about. Bexicles. Cali and the bit. Y'all trying me today. Y'all trying me. You know how long it took me to do the research for this crap? There's so much information, and I had to go through, like, of course I had to do like 10 or 15 different articles. I had to go through Murderpedia. I had to go through websites where we were looking at videos and stuff, and there was so much information to try to get the storyline straight on this. So, we gonna see. All right, y'all, it's 2:08. We're getting started in 1 minute. We're getting started in 1 minute. Everyone, we're getting started in 1 minute. So please, 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 please get ready. Let Twin say happy birthday to me. It's your birthday? Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Let Twin. Happy birthday. Let me get it in. I don't know that actual song, and I don't feel like singing. I'm sorry, I don't feel like singing. I'll sing to you at the end of this. Sorry, we'll see. Happy birthday, Little Twins. I'm so glad, and I recognize it because you've been here for like ever. Yo. All right, y'all, it's 2:09. It's 2:09. All right, y'all, we are about to get started. Before we get started, y'all know I got to ask you the famous questions. First, where y'all at right now? Where you at? Where you at? Where y'all at? Deep Cherries from Texas. Dakota from Picayune. The boss from New York. I see Louisiana. Angela from Texas. Tasha from Virginia. What's happening? Ray from Louisiana. What's happening? Soul Dad in Chile. What's happening? Sweet Pea from Arkansas. I see Belgium. Sunflowers from Oslo. Sunflower. I thought you was from Norway. I don't know. Pooh from Ohio. Miss K from Louisville, Kentucky. I was just there. MG from South Carolina. Jolivia from Arizona. I got Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina. Crystal in Oklahoma. Southside from Atlanta. I see Chelsea Danielle from Atlanta. Nettie Pooh from Texas. Baltimore. What's happening, Baltimore? Alabama. Louisville. Tennessee. Canton, Mississippi. What's up? I was born in Canton. What's happening? I got a honey bun cake. Oh, that sounds really good. I never had one of those. Sarah Cruz, New York. What's happening? Jess from Texas. Blue from Houston. All right. Madison, Mississippi. Madison. What's up? All right. Now, what are you guys drinking? Where are you guys drinking? What y'all drinking on? I got my water, and then I'm going to let y'all pick out my actual drink. Water, Coke, water, 7-Up, water, good water, Dr. Pepper, coffee. I had my coffee already. Yay, 8 p.m. in Scotland. Dang, Scotland, 8 p.m. Get ready for a good night then. Iced coffee. We got Sprite, Ciroc, and pink lemonade. Sounds good. Drinking Coke, Made Swift. I think it said Made Swift. Bubbler says, Bubbler? Texas said Bubbler. I don't know what Bubbler is. Pusa XXL Cali. Red Bull, water and Dr. Pepper Zero, tequila and sweet tea. That is a odd mix. Humblebee says late. No, I'm about to get started. This will be my nighttime show. I'm so glad that I talk you to sleep. I hope not in a bad way. Hiroko says lemonade. What's happening? Kiara says edible. You know, I've never had one. No, I said it back. I did. Someone fed me an edible while I was in prison. Not in prison. I was working there. We were in training. And a girl came in there with some edibles. And I thought she was playing. The girl gave me some freaking edibles. And I only had one Cheerio. And I'm sitting there. I moved my hand. I heard my hand go. And this bitch laid out on the table. And I'm trying to figure out. I said, this bitch gave us an edible in prison. My friend that was there, she said, no, there was no real edible. Yes, the hell it was. Dumbass. And she got fired. The prison was getting ready to arrest her ass because her cousin worked in the prison. And she brought in, she was bringing in contraband. She was bringing in a knife. They got a knife this big off that bitch. That dumb bitch. And I'm gonna call her a dumb bitch because bitch, you almost got me fucked up in a prison. And I worked in maximum security. What's the likes goal for today? All right, y'all already know at least 100,000 likes per story. Even though I only got one story, and y'all always blow 100,000 likes out of the water, so that is freaking amazing. So let's, for this story, we're gonna be about an hour. Let me see if I can get y'all 300,000 for this hour and a half. Let's see if we can do that. I know it's gonna be a lot of taps for y'all, but let's see if we can do it. Also, shares. I don't know if y'all realize, but the more y'all share it, the more people that gets on this live. So right now we have 350 people. If y'all share this mug a few hundred times, we can probably get a close by 800, 900 people on there. A little something up in there. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Now I'm about to get started, but y'all gotta tell me what to mix. All right. So I got my drink here. I have XXL Cali Extreme. It really ain't got no flavor. I have Melon Mint Moscato. Oh shit. I have Sweet Walter Red Wine. I have Malibu Black. Everyone knows that I like that. I still have these 2020s from like weeks ago because I don't drink. This shit is hard. That was a golden pineapple, and then the other one is blue raspberry. I have a lot because I don't drink all this stuff, all right? So I buy them and then I drink a little bit. I'm like, so it's just been sitting there. All right, what should I mix up before we get started? The mint. Someone said the the Melon Mint Moscato. Melon Mint Moscato. Okay. Hold on, let me see if y'all heard that. Let me hear. Y'all heard that. Melon Mint Moscato. XXL. You might well finish that Malibu. I don't know. Should I mix the Melon Mint Moscato by itself or should I mix it with something? We gotta get you a variety. Mix. Don't mix it. Mix. Don't mix. Malibu mix Moscato alone. I don't know. I don't drink Moscato. I got some Orange Crush. What about this? I could put this in there. No, by itself. All right. Mix it with the MD. Are your brothers coming today? No. No, child. They trying to get you wasted. Tequila. This by itself. All right, we're going to do it by itself. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this story, y'all. Today, I'm gonna drink about half by itself before I mix it. I'm gonna do about half by myself before I mix it. Oh, I finished it. All right. So, today we're going to be talking about Rahan Arshad. Has anybody heard of this? This story is in the UK. It's in England. Anyone heard of this? Anyone heard of this? No. Meech says no. Everybody's saying no. Aubrey, no, nope. Looks familiar. Tosh said from me yesterday. Well, Tosh, yes, I did make a short video on my page yesterday, but the video did not have it didn't even have a quarter of all the information. Like, there is so much in this doggone story. But yes, so this story is about Rahan Arshad. If you did catch the video from yesterday, you're going to get a whole big eye opening on a whole lot of stuff today. All right. So as we get started, y'all, we're at 30,000 likes. That's amazing. Let's keep it going. I appreciate you guys for liking this. We all, we have some gifts being sent. Thank you, Mom Life, for sending that rose. I appreciate those as well. I appreciate all the shares. Right now, I see 45 shares. What y'all waiting on? Let's keep it kicking. All right. So today we want to talk about Rahan Arshad. All right. Now, I try to find some information on Rahan's, his life, or, yada, 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 beforehand, when he was a kid and stuff. I always like to give a little backstory. I couldn't find a whole lot of backstory on him. He wasn't a serial unaliver, but he did take a few people out. But, yeah. So, let's get started. Rahan, whatever his name is. He was a taxi driver and he lived in Manchester, England. As you guys can see, he is Pakistani. Now, he was, in the early 90s, he was by himself. His hand wasn't doing the job that it needed to do, Men get lonely. Our hands become our best friends. But you get a little older, you don't want to do that. You want someone else to clap for you. Okay? So he started looking around for a wife. He was looking for somebody to, hey, maybe that you can give me a hand. You know what I mean? And so, how many before you comes here? I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah. So he started looking for a wife. He was talking to his family, and his family was like, you know what, Rahan, we'll help you find someone. We see how lonely you are. You're out there in a foreign country. You're in England, Manchester of all places. We'll help you. So the family starts looking around for a wife for this man. They're looking all around, up and down, left and right. And then they was like, you know what? We got the perfect little bitch for you. And he was like, oh, really? What y'all got for me? What y'all got for me? And his family was like, well, you know her, or you know of her. He was like, really? So I know this girl. And they was like, yeah, you know this girl. He's like, who is it? It's your cousin, your first cousin. Yeah, that is the thing with the arranged marriages, because it was an arranged marriage. A lot of times people do go, it's a cultural thing. In America, unless you're in Alabama, and I think some parts of South Carolina, maybe, that cousins are off what they call it? Off the top. Not your first cousin. Oh, this was his first cousin. His auntie or uncle's child. Yeah. So they knew of each other because they're cousins. They're first cousins. That's like me and my cousin Cree or something. Like, what the freak? My wife would say, hey, a girl for you. Really? Who? Cree. Bitch, get the fuck out the way. But he didn't do that. Keeping it in the family is a traditional thing. Off limits. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So they found his first cousin. Her name was Uzma. Y'all remember like Yzma from the Emperor's New Groove? It's like that, but Uzma. And actually, I don't even think it's pronounced Uzma. I think it was pronounced more like Uzma or Isma, something like that, but whatever the case. So here comes his first cousin. Her parents came and said, hey, your cousin's looking for someone to give him a hand. And she was like, oh, I'll do it. Or I don't know exactly how those go, but she was like, sure. Now, even though they knew of each other, they had actually never met. I don't think that makes the situation even better, but they actually never met before. Okay? Never met. She was described as being very beautiful. Very beautiful. And, of course, she was in Pakistan. So he was living in Manchester, England. She was in Pakistan with her family. And she was very beautiful. We're not going to do that. Okay? We're not going to do that. We're looking at beauty as our standard here in America. Even in American standards, I'm not that handsome. Let me stop playing. I am. But I mean, like, literally, in other cultures, this is beautiful too. She's very beautiful. Okay? So, yeah. They met each other, and almost immediately after they met each other, because it was an arranged marriage, they got married in 1992. So, he was born, I believe he was born like the 70s. So 1992, he was, 20 something? They got married, yes. She moved from Pakistan to Manchester, England to be with him. Okay, she moved from Pakistan to Manchester. Now, you can tell by this picture, I'm going to show you another picture. Because this is the same picture, but just kind of blown up. Her garment that she's wearing is more traditional. So this is kind of how she dressed initially. However, when she moved to Manchester, England, she started dressing a little more Western. So one thing about Arshad Arshad, he wanted his cousin to himself. So when she was wearing like jeans and stuff, and tight shirts and tight jeans that showed off her curves, at first, he liked it. It was a little cousin action. You know, he liked it. It was cool. It was cool with it. But he started to turn against it when she started getting attention from other people. So he was looking at his cousin show her ankles. She pulled that leg up, she showed her ankle, and he was like, Inside the house it was fine. But as soon as other men in the UK started noticing her ankles, he was like, I don't like that. I do not like that. And he started becoming a little jealous of her. Okay? Why the ankles? Have you not seen ankles? Ankles have been doing things to men since the 1400s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, that's kind of what it was. Now, they went and started having children. Now, one thing that I've always questioned about arranged marriages, because the chances of having children with birth defects and things of that nature increases when you are so closely related. It's not impossible, because obviously it doesn't happen that often for them to not do arranged marriages with first cousins, but it increases dramatically. You can have kids with your siblings, your parents, first cousins, stuff like that, and you can still have regular kids. The problem is genetics don't like that. Genetics like a little differentiation into a gene pool, so it doesn't pull bad defects and stuff like that. Okay? OG, get to the store. I'm in the store. The fuck you mean? That's his name. The fuck you mean? I'm in the store. Sit your head down. Okay? So, they started having kids. They had, let me name off the children for you. They had a son named Adam. Adam is here. He's 11 years old. Then there was Abbas. Abbas is 8. And there's little Henna. Henna is 6 years old. Okay? Hannah is 6 years old. Now, this is 6 years old at the time of the big incident. Okay? But we're not quite there yet. I'm just telling you. You had Adam, Abbas, and Henna were their name. And honestly, I kind of like all three of the names. Pretty cool. Now, when Uzma, let me put the mom back on here. So when Uzma started wearing her tight jeans and her tight shirts and stuff, and all the other men in the United Kingdom started noticing her ankles and shit, that's when Arshad started getting a little jealous. Arshad, he was like, I don't think I like those men, those niggas looking at your ankles like that. I don't like them looking at your curves. And she was like, oh, stop it. It's just my legs. It's just but it's just my tatas. She's telling him stuff like that. And he was like, whatever. He actually went on to say, I'm going to put his picture up when I tell you this. This is a direct quote. It was not right for a mother and someone who came from Pakistan to change the way she dressed all of a sudden. It wasn't right at all. But keep in mind, he liked it at first when his cousin dressed like that, when it was just for his eyes. Which, that's not bad. But she wasn't dressing wrong. She just had on jeans and a shirt. Now, Uzma, let me go back to Uzma here. Now, Uzma, when she came over here after a while, she had got a job in the beauty world, in the beauty industry as a part-time beautician. So she was going to be a beautician for women. And I probably should look that up. I think a beautician is a hairstylist. It could be makeup. She was a beautician, whatever that is. It's in the beauty industry, and that's exactly what she was doing. Okay? Now, while she was, thank you, A says hair. I should have looked it up. I didn't know what a beautician was. But yeah. So while she was a beautician, because of course, Arshad, he was a taxi driver. He was a taxi driver. So he was out all day working while she was a part-time beautician. Now, during her part-time, when she was working, she needed someone to watch the kids. So she actually had this neighbor. This neighbor's name was Musarat. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry about that. Now, the neighbor Musarat used to babysit the children. It was only for a couple of hours a day, but that's what the neighbor did, would babysit the kids while she was at work. And so naturally, Uzma got familiar with Musarat and her own family. Now, Musarat had a husband. She had a husband, and her husband's name was Nikki. So they quickly knew each other. And I'm not saying that way. They just, that's her babysitter's husband. Her husband. All right. So she and Nikki, being that she saw him all the time, she got his number as well as Musarat's number so that she can communicate if there was ever any problem. She can contact the neighbor or the neighbor's husband. All right? Y'all following me? Y'all following me? Thank you for that heart. Thank you, just for that popular. Thank you. Y'all, we're at 67,000 likes. Let's keep it going. All right. So, let's jump back over to their little relationship. I should have made a picture with both of them together, but my mistake. So anyway, Uzma. So Uzma, since she was a beautician, she also had her clients call her from time to time and they contacted her like, hey, I need my hair done like Betty Crocker, or I want, my bangs to be uneven or some shit. And they would call her and she would take phone calls from her part-time beautician job. So one day, she's out with her husband. She's out with Arshad. They're inside the car just riding. He's a taxi driver, so he's good with driving people around. So he's inside the car, and Uzma's phone rings. So Uzma answered the phone. She goes, hello, this is Uzma. How can I help you? And while she's on the phone talking, he just sitting there listening. He can't hear who's on the phone, but she's in there, and she goes, ting, ting. Oh, stop it. I cannot talk on the phone right now. I'm with my husband. That was a literal quote. She said, I'm with my husband. I can talk on the phone. And so, remember, this man, he's a little jealous of his wife because now that she got fine, she's showing her ankles more. She probably showing her wrist. She's showing her hair. He was a little bit, a little jealous of his cousin. She's, he don't want no other man looking at his cousin like that. So he turns to her. He said, who the hell you was on the phone with that you can't talk on the phone in front of me? And she was like, oh my gosh, stop it. It was just a client. He was like, bitch. Stop playing with me. There wasn't no client you was over there giggling on that phone with. Who the hell was that? And so they got into a big old argument because she didn't want to talk on the phone with whoever she was talking on the phone with in front of her husband. She's his wife and cousin. Yes. First cousin, by the way. She married her cousin. Yes, they were first cousins. Him and her were first cousins. Y'all must just jumped up in here. Sit your ass down. Because we got a long way to go in this story. Alright? I'm just giving backstory right now. I'm giving backstory. So, alright. So yeah, he was arguing with his cousin, who was his wife, because she was being secretive over the phone. He was like, why the hell you can't talk to them over the phone with me? Who the hell you was on the phone? She was like, it's just a client. Would you chill out, cousin? Chill out, big cousin. And he was like, bitch, don't you tell me to chill out before I go tell your mama. Before I go tell Uncle Arashad. Don't you do that shit. So, yeah. He called her. He accused her of being a lying-ass, run-down, dirty bitch. And, that was whatever. Now, y'all may be sitting there wondering, like, okay, he's jumping to conclusions because you can't accuse someone just because they're being secretive on the phone and showing their ankles for the whole world to see. You can't sit there and accuse them of cheating on you just because they took a phone call they didn't want to answer in front of you. When I first thought about this, I initially was saying, yeah, that is a little creepy. Then I thought, well, if I'm on the phone, if I'm talking to my mama, I'm sitting there with my mom, and one of my friends called me, and they were like, hey, Trey, I'm like, hold up, I can't talk right now with my mom. But, you know, I could see a situation where, like, you may not want to talk on the phone with somebody because you're in front of somebody. I was like, oh. I said, well, what if I was in front of my dad? I was like, somebody called. I want to talk to my friends in front of my dad. So I could see it. But Arshad ain't no punk bitch. And he ain't no dumb neither. So remember, I told y'all, Uzma, when she was at work at her part-time job, y'all, we at 87,000 likes. Thank you. And thank you, Mom Times, for the thing. And thank you, Nikki J, for the roses. Thank you. Let's keep it going. And let's keep the shares going, too. I see we at 86 shares. Let's keep them shares going, y'all. Where we at? So, anyway. So, remember Nikki. Uzma, when she worked at her part-time job doing stuff to people's hair, she had her neighbor, whose name was Musarat, watch her children. The neighbor, Musarat, had a husband named Nikki. So now, her and Nikki, they texting on the phone. Okay? So, Arshad, he had his suspicions, but he really didn't know at this point in time. But Nikki had been hitting her on the phone. They first talked about, you know, praise Allah, or whatever they talked about. I'm not sure what her religion is. But they were talking about, you know, Pakistan shit. Talk about all type of things that is I don't know of. But then he decided to give us some real shawarma. He put some real meat in that shawarma. And she liked it. So she was dropping her kids, look, Hindu. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, Hindu, Muslim, I do not know. It's not really even that important. But anyway, so she was dropping the kids off at Musadat's house, and then going to Musadat's husband, bow, doing all type of Pakistan shit. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And Musadat didn't have no idea. This woman is babysitting. She's babysitting the children of the woman that's doing the dirty tango with her husband. Y'all know how crazy that is. I'm telling y'all, I told y'all, she's pretty. She can get it. And she was getting it, apparently. Now, also consider the choices. The neighbor's husband or your first cousin. Well, I think a lot of y'all would probably do the same thing. You know, if it was between your first cousin and your neighbor's husband, we had 100,000 likes. Hey, must be the money. Hey, we like to party. Hey, 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 hey. We like to party. All right. Let's keep going with the story. Thank y'all. Somebody said, unless my cousin was Idris Elba. I don't know, y'all. I don't know who my cousin would have. No, I'm not even gonna open up that can of worms. No. The answer is no. So she was. You know, between your first cousin and the neighbor's husband. So those were the choices. And, you know, she did the lesser of two evils. Okay. So now, with that being said, it could have been Nikki on the phone with her. Nikki, the husband, the babysitter's husband, Nikki could have been telling her, drop your kids off so I can drop the kids off. We don't know what the hell that man was on the phone saying. We don't know if he was on the phone, but it could have been him. We don't know. But Arshad, whatever it was, Arshad did not like this shit. Arshad, you know, he was like bitch. He called her a big bitch and all type of shit. Now, they started having some real issues, and they were arguing a lot. Him and his first cousin here, who's also his wife. They were having a whole lot of arguments. So he argued that she was living beyond their means, because she always was going on shopping sprees and shit like that. Keep in mind, she's a part-time beautician, and this nigga drive taxis. So like, you know, so he was arguing that she was, you know, always spending money and she wasn't being a good cousin and wife to him. And she was having arguments that saying that he was abusive to her. I'm not sure if it was like knocking her head between the washer and the dryer, or if he was like, you just calling her, you know, big, fat, dirty, rundown bitch. I don't know exactly if it was verbal or physical, but she was saying that he was very abusive to her. And so you had a lot of back and forth. You had a lot of back and forth, you know, with them, okay? But so they started going to a family friend. Now, the friend that they went to, his name was Rahan Ali. I'm going to call him a friend. I'm telling y'all, I promise you, I did research for like 6 hours on this story. And I read so many articles. Half of the articles refer to Rahan Ali as a taxi driver, because he's also a taxi driver. The other half said that Rahan Ali was his friend, which will make sense if he's a taxi driver, because he was also a taxi driver friend. And then another half said that Rahan Ali was her brother, which I thought was weird, because if Rahan Ali is her brother, wouldn't it also make Rahan his cousin? Because she's his cousin. I don't know who Rahat is. I believe that Rahan Ali was actually just his friend that was a taxi driver. I promise you. I read like 20 articles. If I read anything less than that, I'm a big fat liar. But I'm telling you, okay? I'm going to say that he's just his friend. All right? But let's keep going. So there was this friend whose name was Rahan Ali. Rahat would actually be a mediator between them two, because they were arguing all the time. One time, when they actually went to Rahat and they was just talking, like sitting down and, you know, talking about their arguing and stuff, and he brought up that she was spending too much money, and she brought up that he was a cheap bum ass nigga, and he was abusive to her. He snatched her phone. And then while she was trying to get the phone back, he was like, bag up, bitch, bag up. And he got the phone, he pulled up her messages, and he showed it to Rahat. And in the messages, they found the love letters. The love messages were obviously she was having an affair. Now, he didn't know who Nikki was. That's the crazy thing, y'all. The man, the name was Nikki. He didn't know who Nikki was at all. But he knew that she was messing around with some dude named Nikki. All right? I always get a burner phone. Y'all, this is in the early 2000s. I don't even think there was much of an option at that point. Okay? But yeah. So, yeah. Who was it? Yeah, she claimed that he was cheap, and he claimed that she was spending all his money. Okay, this was keep in mind, they got married in 1992. This is going on 2000, this is like 2002, 2003, when the affair started and when all this stuff happened. We gotta move on. We're in 2004. Y'all, this is where the story starts to get ridiculous. I kid you not. When I read this, I was going through, I was like, ain't no way this real. In 2004, are y'all following me? Are y'all following me right now? Because we about to talk about some crazy shit in this story. Y'all, thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Miss Nelly. You yelling at us? My bad, damn. Aubrey, no. Aubrey, I don't know what to tell you. Trina, follow them. That's what we're talking about. Are these modern day Bible stories? Maybe. God dog. All right. In 2004, Uzma's dad passed away. So also his uncle and her dad passed away. She was sad. Even though her dad gave her away to her cousin, they still had a close relationship. And so she actually went to Pakistan to grieve, I guess, to go to the funeral and all this stuff right there. She was in Lahore, Pakistan. Lahore. So Arshad ain't shit. Arshad, this nigga ain't shit. So he used this as an opportunity to teach her a lesson. So while Uzma was in Pakistan, Lahore, Pakistan, to grieve her daddy, he was at the house in Manchester, England with the kids, right? Y'all, he got passports for the kids, right? He got passports for all of them. He sold the house. He sold the house for £90,000. Keep in mind, she in Pakistan. She don't know shit. She out there grieving because her dad just passed away. This nigga sold the house for £90,000, right? He got passports for the kids. Then he went to Lahore to find the whore, his wife, his cousin. He went there. She's crying. She's at her mom's house, y'all. He went to the mom's house in Pakistan, knocked on the door. The mom answered the door. She's like, who is it? Answer the door. This man is there with the kids. He threw the kids in the house and ran like hell. So she's sitting there in the living room like, what the fuck? Like, what are y'all doing here? What the kids doing here? The man, he flew to Pakistan, left the kids with her while she was grieving. Her dad just passed away. And then he dipped. Not only did this man dip, y'all, she had a bank account. Now, the bank account had about 75,000 pounds in it, which I thought was crazy to have stacked up as a part-time beautician. Whatever. But she had a bank account with about 75,000 pounds in it. He cleared out her bank account, y'all. So not only did this man have 90,000 pounds for the house, he had 75,000 pounds that was in her bank account. He snatched it all. Took the kids to Pakistan where she was at because her dad just passed. Threw the kids in the house, ran. He threw away the kids' passports. He threw away their passports, y'all. Threw away their passports and then left. He left her ass. She's sitting there. When I read, I said, ain't no way this man did this. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That's my kind of pity. He said, fuck them kids and fuck you too. That man threw them kids off at it and ran. He threw them kids off her and ran. I'm not even lying. So, anyway, also, after he left the kids with her in Pakistan, he filed for divorce and he just started traveling. He just started traveling around. And y'all, when I heard he started traveling, I'm thinking he traveled for, a couple weeks or whatever. This man was gone for 10 months. For 10 months, he left her. Now, Uzma's family, so also his family, because they're cousins, his wife, they're all cousins, everybody in his family related, okay? So Uzma's family, when they realized this nigga ain't shit, they had banded together to get money to send her and the kids back to Manchester, England, because, she's from Pakistan, but she now lives in Manchester. But I was like, I said, meanwhile, this ain't shit nigga is traveling around, and some reports says Pakistan, some reports said he went to Ireland. I don't think he went to Ireland. I really think he just traveled around Pakistan, but he traveled and blew all that money, or blew a lot of that money. Let me say that. Now, for 10 months, over time, he would contact Uzma. He would call Uzma, y'all. And I promise you, it's not funny. But he would call Uzma and then mock on the phone, call her stanky, call all type of shit, make her cry, and then hang up laughing. I said, no! Yo. Yo. Like, what the heck? Did she get a divorce? Apparently, somebody asked about a divorce. Apparently, the divorce that he filed was a fake divorce. But he filed it with a judge. So I don't know how you can file fake divorce papers with the judge. I'm just going to say he filed for divorce. They never actually got a divorce, legally. But they did say he filed for divorce. Okay? Now, also, y'all want to know the craziest part about this? I didn't even tell y'all the crazy part about all of this 10 months. Y'all want to know what the crazy part about everything? Do you want to know what the crazy part about everything, y'all? Y'all gonna answer? Do y'all want to know the crazy part? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lauren. That's why I love you. Thank you, Miss Nelly. While he was away from his wife, there was a lot of reports that said that while he was away, he met another woman and got married again. But it wasn't technically legal because his divorce was technically not legal. So he went off, found another woman. That wasn't his cousin, might I add. This time he did it the old-fashioned way. Went out and found somebody else. Somebody said probably was another cousin. No report said it was a cousin now. I don't know now. I do not know. All right. Let me keep going. So for 10 months, he just sneaking off on her. He would call her fat, hang up laughing, and have her crying over the phone. Now, meanwhile, Uzma had came back to the UK because remember, her family banded up money and they sent her back to the UK. Now, because she was back here, he stole all her money. She had to go to what's called a council house. Now, I had to look up what the hell a council house was. A council house is government assisted housing. It's like housing owned by the government. In America, we know that it's Section 8 housing. Section 8 housing. Government assisted housing. Because she ain't had no money. She was a part-time hairdresser. At first, when she came back, and, she was living in the Section 8 or the council houses, right? She became a cafeteria lady. And there's nothing wrong with a cafeteria. I worked in fast food for 4 years, all right? And it was one of my favorite jobs. But, she didn't have a job that was making a whole lot of money. Her husband is off traveling the world, stole all her money, marrying another bitch. And I don't know. So, yeah, she got the council house, all right? So while she's in the council house, she's poor, broke, trying to build up her life again. It's like a Tyler Perry movie, by the way, but in Pakistani. In 2005, after 10 months, and he's gone for 10 months, and he missed his cousin's ankles. He missed her ankles. So he started calling her, and when she answered the phone, she was like, hello? And instead of her calling a big, nasty, fat bitch, your life contains things that may find uncomfortable. What have I talked about that's been uncomfortable? I ain't even talked about shit. Man, y'all not y'all, but whoever be reporting this stuff is some pussies. Anyway, I ain't even said shit. Consuming substances featured in this live could harm your health. Y'all some pussies, bro. I think they're talking about my drinky drink. I think that's what it is. So don't worry. I won't bring it up no more. Whoever reported and married to their cousin too. Probably is. So anyway, let's get back to the story. After 10 months, Arshad, he missed his cousin's ankles. He came back and he was like, she called her, answered the phone, and she was like, what do you want? And he was like, I'm sorry, cousin. I just want to rub your feet again. Can you take me back? And she was like, nigga, after all the shit you done did to me, fuck you. She didn't want him back, but he wanted her back. So he went to their little mediator, which was Rahat Ali. He went to Rahat. And he like, Rahat, I need you. I beg of you to talk to that big bitch. And so we can get back together again. Now Rahat was like, okay, cool. So Rahat would actually talk to her. Rahat would actually talk to her and try to get her, to, get together and all that good stuff. And, yeah. Now, I had wrote down here that he came back to Uzma saying he wanted her back. Well, I wrote down probably because he spent her money. Maybe. But he didn't spend all of it. And I'm gonna tell you why in just a minute. He didn't spend all of it. But Rahat was the mediator for the cousins, and yeah. So he said, I'll come back and I'll treat you like a queen. I'll treat you like a motherfucking the prettiest queen on earth. Now, Uzma, once again, had been living in council housing, the government assistance housing, which is like Section 8. And he said, if I come back, if you let me back, I'll buy you the house of your dreams, you big nasty bitch. And she was like, I don't care about that. But he decided to do so. So Arshad bought a home in Tourist Road, Cheadle Home, which is in England. It's a suburb in England. And he put the property in both of their names. Now, this property was worth about £200,000. That's a lot of pounds. It's worth about £200,000. Okay. Now, Uzma wasn't no fool, and she ain't trust him. She didn't trust her cousin. She was like, the only way you gonna put your hands on me again is at our family reunion. I'm not finna come back. But he was like, no, I want you to get out of that poor people's house, and I'm gonna, treat you like a queen. So Arshad moved into the house that he had bought while she stayed in the council house because she was not ready to forgive her cousin. Okay, she wasn't ready to forgive her cousin. So Arshad, he stayed in the house. But he was not ready yet to give up on his cousin. So he ended up buying her a bunch of shit. Let's talk about some of the shit that he bought her to try to win his cousin back. He bought her a 30,000 pound BMW 320 for her birthday. 30,000 pounds? Y'all, that's a lot of pounds. Okay? In America, $30,000 is a lot of dollars, but pounds is more, it has more weight than a dollar does. So shit. Now, even though he got her this car, on a payment plan like most people would do, financing it, he only made one payment. Sometimes when you flexing on niggas, you can only afford that first month's flex. And that's exactly what he did. He made one payment on that bitch. He ain't made not another one. But he was just trying to buy for her so that, she could see that he got him a car. Okay? So he also took her on a lavish spending spree because once again, she wanted to spend money. Remember, he was one of his big complaints that she was always spending money. So he spent on a lavish spending spree. He redecorated the house. So he bought a house. He bought a 30,000 pound BMW. He took on a lavish spending spree. He redecorated the house. He bought a brand new flat screen TV. He bought the kids a computer. He bought her gold jewelry and bangles and shit. He bought her a new wardrobe. He bought new carpets for the house. He bought a new banister. He spent a lot of money on her. All right? Now, you may be wondering, where he even get that money? I don't know. I was trying to figure that out. I was like, damn, the man was going for, now granted, he sold a house for $90,000 and he stole 75,000 pounds. That's 165,000 pounds that he had in his possession, which in American money is like 200,000 pounds, $200,000. And he was only gone for 10 months. I mean, unless you're just stupid with money, you don't spend 200,000 pounds or 175,000 pounds in a year in 10 months. But, I don't know. But he did all that. Now, when he did all this, he was talking to her family. He was like, look, see, I'm a regretful man. I love my wife. See all the shit I bought for this big bitch? You see everything I did for her? And then he was telling her, tell her, you big fat bitch, tell your family what I did for you. And Uzma, she was like, oh, you nigga, I don't trust your ass. She said, mm-mm. So she was actually talking to her cousins and her other side of the family. And she told them, she said, yeah, he's doing a lot now. Either he's really, changing his ways, or this man is about to take my ass out. That was literally what she said, although she said the K word. Y'all know I can't say the K word here. But she said either he's doing really good, or this man is getting ready to K word me. And I'm just on pause right now. If y'all genuinely ever in your life literally think that someone is about to K word you, I know sometimes we can be joking like, oh, well, either he's doing real good or he preparing to K word me. Ha! But if you actually in your mind, just for a fragment, ever think that somebody is actually about to, do not go back. Hold on, what is this? Oh, I gotta prove to them that I'm still sitting here. Do not go back. I do not care. I've heard so many people talking about, oh, well, it's not easy to leave, and just I can guarantee you, everybody that's been taken out by their partner after they had a feeling that their partner was whatever, if they knew definitively, fuck a job, fuck a house, fuck transportation, I promise you, they would have figured out a way to get out of there. What was real hard prior to becomes real easy when you understand your life is at stake. Okay? So remember, y'all, if you ever have a feeling that someone can and will take you out, leave. Get protection. And I ain't talking about Trojan. I'm talking about skeet. Get it. Well, if they're in the UK, you better go to Neiman Marcus, go to the kitchen section. You better buy something. I'm telling y'all. But anyway, let's get back to the story. But she was telling her family members, she was like, yeah, either this man is really doing good or he's about to take me out. And, whatever. Now, she started work. She was a cafeteria lady, which I already told you, because she needed money at this time. So he was getting real upset that she was not coming back to him. He was spending all this money and yada, yada, yada. But finally, she agreed to come back to him. All right, she was like, okay, fine, I'll come back to the house. Well, I'll come to the house. So she finally moved into that 200,000 pound house that he had bought for her, right? Now, she didn't tell him that council house, that Section 8 house that she had, she didn't tell him that she still had that house. So he didn't know that she still had this house. When he found out that she still had this house, his reasoning was that she still had this house because she was still meeting up with Nikki. And y'all, he wasn't off base. I'm not sure what evidence that he had about this, but it was confirmed by multiple family members because it was an open secret. She denied it, but everybody knew what was going on. Her family even came out in court and they was like, yeah, her and Nikki, she couldn't rap Lil Wayne's or Drake's verse on Only. I never fucked Nick. Because she was. She did. She really did. Oh, she did. She did. So the hot one doing ish. Well, it was her cousin. So once again, if the choice was your first cousin or being a home wrecker and messing around with the neighbor's husband, who would you choose? And for y'all, really think about your favorite cousin, and think about waking up every morning and they just like this. What you doing, baby? And then think about your neighbor. If you had a choice, who would you choose? Okay, all right. So anyway, he Arshad was telling her family member, he's like, yeah, look at all this stuff. You know, is it a surprise that I bought her all this shit? And her brother, Uzma's brother, which once again, his cousin too, the other dude, he was like, oh no, and then he was like, well, you think that's a surprise? Well, just wait, there will be an even bigger surprise. He told him. He told him. He said, y'all think that's a surprise? Just wait. There's going to be a bigger surprise. He straight up told him. He straight up told him. Okay? But yeah, Jazz said, but wait, there's more. He wasn't going. So, Uzma, once again, one of their big arguments was she was spending a lot of money. And Uzma wanted some gold. I don't know if she wanted gold jewelry or she just wanted a block of gold. I don't know. But she wanted some gold. And so she wanted to go to Dubai to get gold. I'm assuming gold jewelry. But there's no gold jewelry places in the UK? I don't know. But anyway, so Arshad had told Uzma, he was like, all right, fine, you want some gold? I'll take your big ass to Dubai to get some gold. And she was like, oh, thank you, you ain't shit, bitch. I love you. And he had planned for the family to go to Dubai. He told everybody, he was like, yeah, we're going to Dubai because that ugly woman wants some gold. So I'm taking the family to Dubai to get some gold. And so everybody, they knew of this. They knew they were going to Dubai to get gold. It was supposed to be like a long trip. Okay? Supposed to be a long trip. They were going to Dubai to get some gold. All right. Now, right before their scheduled trip to Dubai, he went to the store and he bought another plane ticket. Well, actually, not even another. He actually never bought tickets to Dubai, but he didn't tell nobody else that. He bought a one-way ticket to Bangkok. One way. Well, it was a return trip. The return trip, technically. The return was supposed to be on the 18th of August. So it was supposed to leave the end of July and it's supposed to come back on the 18th of August. You know, he ain't never been there, but he liked the Bangkok. Big fat titties when they're hanging out his tank top. So he bought the ticket to Bangkok, didn't tell nobody, and he told, y'all, we had 200,000 likes. Thank you. Y'all are freaking amazing. I love y'all. I freaking love y'all. Somebody said, where's the other wife? Remember, there was the other wife, there was rumored. It was rumored that he had gotten remarried. That's what the article said. There was never any complete confirmation that he was. What I personally believe, though, I believe that during his phone calls when he used to taunt and mock her, I think he told her that he found another wife and he got married, but he actually didn't. Because he did later on deny that he actually got married. But everybody, they heard that he had got married. So I'm going to just leave that up in the air with a grain of salt. But anyway, late July, right before their trip to Dubai, he actually bought a ticket to Bangkok. And yeah, he also went to the store and he bought a rounders bat, which I was looking at. I said, what in the world is a rounders bat? So a rounders bat looks like this. It looks like a regular bat, but it's noticeably shorter. And apparently there is a game called Rounders, which is very similar to baseball. And actually, Rounders may be the ancestor to baseball. Because somebody throw a ball, you hit the ball with this short bat, and you run around these 4 bases, and the other team tries to get you out. So he bought a ticket to Bangkok, and he bought a bat. Okay? Right before they were supposed to go to Dubai. Okay? Now, July the 27th of 2006, the children, it was their last day of school, which I thought that's pretty damn late, but I forgot this in another country. Their school year is set up differently from us in America. But it was the last day of school for the kids. The kids said goodbye to their friends, getting ready to go to Dubai, all that fun shit. And yada, yada, yada. Their friends said bye to them. They came home. This was actually the day that he bought the rounders bat. Okay? Now, on the next day, which is July the 28th of 2006, the kids came up to him and they were like, yay, we're getting ready to go to Dubai. And he, looked at him. He had said, y'all ain't going no fucking Dubai. And they was like, what the hell you talking about, daddy? And so he told them instead of going to Dubai, he was taking them to Blackpool. Blackpool is in England, and it is an amusement park. Well, they called it a pleasure park, which I hate the name pleasure park. Because when I saw pleasure park, I said, what the fuck is he taking kids to a pleasure park for? But that's another word for amusement. We say amusement parks. They say pleasure parks. Y'all get it? So he took them to Blackpool. And the kids, they had wristbands. They went to Blackpool. They rode rides. Yada, yada, yada. Okay? Very fun, apparently. But remember, the kids are expecting to go to Dubai. He told them, y'all ain't going no damn Dubai. We're going to Blackpool. He took them to the amusement park instead. He told the kids. He didn't tell nobody else. Everybody else thought they were still going to Dubai. Everybody thought they were going out of town. Okay? All right. Now, let's get to the story. Now, it's going to be a little brutal. Y'all know I'm about to tell y'all to go ahead and get your drinks ready. I want y'all to get drinks because everything I told y'all was backstory. Now we about to start talking about some real deep shit. Some real deep shit. All right. Mothra, did he just start? Yep. All right. Everybody take a sip of your drinks off screen. That is some good water. I love me my smart water. All right. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Let me know when y'all ready. All right. July the 28th of 2006. So the kids' last day of school was the 27th. And so actually their trip to Blackpool was actually on the 28th. Okay, the kids had the last day of school on the 27th. On the 28th, when he took them to Blackpool and told them, your little asses are not going to Dubai. So he and his cousin, who's also his wife, they had an argument after the kids came back from Blackpool. So he left to get his mind straight. He left. He came back to the house after a little while. He calmed down. And the argument was about her, spending money and also about her cheating. Because this is July of 2006. Her affair with Nikki lasted for years. As a matter of fact, it lasted until as late as April of 2006. Everybody knew. That's why he resented her so bad. So honestly, like I said, when he emptied out that bank account and all that shit, can you really blame him? Because she was still, menaging with Nikki. But anyway, he came back home after an argument. Okay? He walked through the door, and while laying on the floor, he saw the kids. All three of the kids were on the floor, covered in blankets. I know, y'all may be wondering, wait, that's not what happened. He came in the house and saw the kids laying on the floor. He freaked out, obviously, and he started screaming for his cousin. That ain't what you said. Trina, shut your ass up. Okay? Shut up. Shut up. He started screaming for Uzma, his wife, who's also his cousin. He started screaming. He ran upstairs and he found his wife. She was up there in the bedroom, and she spoke to him in their native language, which is Urdu. I don't know what Urdu is, but that's their native language. But what it translated to was, "Are you satisfied?" He said, "Bitch!" He blacked out. So he grabbed that Rounders bat that he conveniently purchased the day before. and it went crazy. In the end, she was hit with the bat at least 23 times. When I say this part of the body caved in, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Okay? Now, he blacked out. He woke up when he was done with her. And he was like, oh. He got the bat and he threw the bat. He hid the bat somewhere. He covered her with a blanket. And then he ran. Remember that plane ticket that he had purchased? He got that plane and he still continued. He took the vehicle that he had purchased, that $30,000 BMW. He took the vehicle to the plane station and he dipped. Also, I want y'all to know that the plane was scheduled to leave on the 29th of July. This happened on the 28th. So he sat there at the house with his wife and his kids, landing in that house, and then he finally left to Bangkok the next day. Didn't say shit to nobody. Okay? He was gone for a month. Now, the ticket was scheduled for August. It was supposed to schedule for him to return on August the 18th, but he was so scared because of what he did to his wife and everything, so he actually extended it and he stayed there a little longer. Now, I know what y'all thinking. Stay with me, because I'm not quite done with this story. All right, not quite done. So anyway, remember, everybody's thinking that the family is in Dubai, because he told everybody he was going to Dubai. The only people he didn't tell was in Dubai was the kids, because he took them to Blackpool, whatever the shit. He took them to Blackpool. So, everybody thinking Dubai. Ain't nobody checking up on them because they're on vacation in Dubai while she's buying gold. So one day the neighbors are there. They're at the house, just walking around. I'm not sure exactly what all they were doing. Also, I'm not sure if this is like a singular house or like a condo, because the neighbors started smelling the smell of decay. Okay? And so after several days of smelling decay, they started going around the house and they started looking through the windows and they started noticing there was a whole lot of what they call blue bottles, which are basically a bunch of flies inside the house. Just through the windows, they could see it all. So they called the police. The neighbors called the police. And the family, by this point, because it's been, about 4 weeks, and ain't nobody heard from anybody in the family. So the family also has been contacting the police. But the neighbors are the ones that really contacted the police. And they told the police. The police came to the house. The police came to the house. And they also are smelling this shit. They bust through the door. When they opened the door, right there, they saw the kids. They had been sitting inside this house for a month. And there was a lot of maggots, a lot of flies, and stank really bad. And so now the police, they're like, what the fuck? So the police, they go around through the house. And then they get to the bedroom. As soon as they open the door in the bedroom, that's where they found her. She's laying on the floor, same condition. A lot of flies, a lot of maggots. It's gross. It's disgusting. But now, they're sitting there, and they're like, okay, what the fuck? The house that they were in, now this is also something that I was a little confused on, but I'm going to tell you what it was. Because he had bought the house for was a 200,000 pound house. But I think he may have been renting it to own it, because the house was still owned by 2 other people. Even though he put his name and her name on the lease, I guess, because immediately the police, when they searched for who owned the house, it didn't come up as Arshad. It came up as this other woman and this other man. Okay, well, it was a woman, and then it was like this man that was like happened to be around or something like that. They arrested 2 other people. Long story short, they arrested 2 other people in connection because the house was owned by them. And I was a little confused. I thought he owned the house, but I'm thinking he was renting to own. But yeah. So anyway, remember Arshad, big bitch Arshad, he's out in Thailand, Bangkok, Honestly, I was trying to figure out why the fuck would you go to Thailand? And then I'm thinking about it. You nasty, sick motherfucker. Anytime anybody tells me, oh, I'm going to Thailand, you know my first thought is, wop, 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 dot, fuck them up. I don't know. I always get a weird feeling when I hear Thailand. But anyway, so the family starts calling him in Thailand, and his brothers were calling him as well, which will also be Uzma's cousins. Oh, God. I hate these blended family shits. So anyway, everybody's calling him like, hey, where you at? We found your wife and your children. And he's like, oh, I'm in Thailand doing Thailand shit. And they're like, hey, bro, come home. And he was like, I don't think I want to come home just yet. And so his brother actually had to convince this man to come home because he was not coming home. He was like, I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't know nothing about this shit. And finally, it was his brother that had convinced him to come home. So he contacted the police and told them he was going to come home to help with the investigation. I think they lied to him or something because they were telling him to come help with the investigation. But as soon as he stepped off their plane, they arrested his ass right there in England. Okay? And that's when he said, I confess. So now, what did he confess to? What did he confess to? Alrighty. Now I'm going to tell y'all. We're about to go over a lot of the same stuff, but the motivation is what I was kind of really figuring out here. Because I couldn't find anything that definitively said what the motivation was, but I think I know exactly what it was. When I was looking back over everything, I was like, I know what it is. So remember, he did not know after Uzma, his wife, moved into the house with him. He got the house, he bought the car, he did the renovations, bought the TV, the computers, carpets, draperies. He did all that shit for her to try to get her to come back. I was like, why would you do all that if this was your plan? Why not just leave? You already had the money. Like, why come back? You had the upper hand. Why come back? I really think he did want her back at one point in time. But remember, when she moved out of the house, I don't know if I told you, but she moved out of the house. Remember, she was in that council house, which was that Section 8 housing. When she moved out, he wanted her to give up the council house. And he thought she did. Apparently, she never gave up the house. She still had it oh, thank you for that hat. No cap. Thank you, D. She still had that Section 8 housing. And when he found out about it, he figured that she had that Council 8 housing, that Section 8 housing, because she was still hooking up with Nikki. She was still hooking up with Nikki. Remember, y'all, he came back in 2005. He came back in 2005, y'all. 2005? What was it? Yeah. In 2005, he came back after he was gone for 10 months. And then he bought the house and all that shit, right? He came back and bought all the house to get her to come back to him. Keep in mind, he didn't have to go back to her. He wanted her back. All right? And so when she finally moved back in with him in 2006, April, is when she was still carrying on with Nikki until April of 2006. She was still menaging with Nikki until 2006. I believe he found, well, he did find out, and he figured that she had the house still because she was still messing around with Nikki. I don't know if that was 100% true, but he did find out that she had that house, and that set him off. I believe she was. I ain't gonna lie. He may be an asshole, but he ain't been wrong. He was spot on. He was spot on. What? Can we all agree with it? He may have been a butthole. He may or may not have been abusive, but most of his allegations against her was correct. It was right. So when I put the 2 and 2 together, I said, her and Nikki, she kept that house. she not want to lose that Section 8 house, and she was telling family that, you know, she just didn't want to give it up. But I believe that she kept it as well because it was a place where she could be alone with Nikki. It was a safe place for her and Nikki to cheat. But can you cheat on your cousin? I mean, I guess a relationship is a relationship no matter who it's with, but damn. So when he found out that she still had that house, that's why he snapped. Because remember, the relationship was still going on until April of 2006. So, yeah. So, he found out about it. And then, that was in April, May, June, July. That's only 3 months during that time. He needed to save up money, which also, y'all, they're taking trips to Dubai or planning on it. You're going to road trips and he's buying houses and shit. This man is a taxi driver. And she a cafeteria worker. Where the hell these people getting all this damn money from? That's what I was trying to figure out. Are they... I was trying to figure out where the hell this money coming from. He was telling her they're going to Dubai to buy gold. Although he didn't do it. But like, where the hell was all this money coming from? When she started in the cafeteria. She started in the cafeteria, remember, after he dropped the kids off at her in Pakistan, because she went there because her dad passed away, and he stole all her money and dropped the kids there. The family raised money to get her back to Manchester. In Manchester, that's when she got Section 8 housing, and she started working as a cafeteria worker then. So, yeah. So, anyway. So, when he found that out, he snapped. He told everybody that he was taking them to Dubai, which he was not. He never planned on it. He never even bought the tickets to Dubai. He did buy the tickets to Bangkok. And then he did not tell his kids until the 28th that they were not going to Dubai. Instead, they were going to Blackpool. I guess he gave them just one last fun day. When he got back to the house on the 28th, I want y'all to take a sip of water. Take a sip of water. Because he bought that bet because he knew what he was going to do. When he made it back to the house, y'all. He made it back to the house. He had already planned it. He went into the room, the bedroom. The kids were somewhere else in the house. He took out their rounders bat, and he took out his cousin. Remember, she was struck over 23 times. Over 23 times she was struck. Okay? Head caved in. The head is caved in, y'all. So when she's gone, now he's got the 3 kids. Remember, he never planned on going to Dubai. He took the kids. He told the kids to come with him one by one. He took them downstairs one by one. And he started with the girl, the 6-year-old Hannah. And he used that bat on her. Once Hannah was gone, he covered up with a towel. Then he got the next one, which was Abba. Abba. Make sure that's his name. Yeah, Abbas. He got Abbas and told Abbas to come with him. Abbas came downstairs. He got that bat and took out Abbas. And then he went to the first son, whose name was Adam, who was 11 years old. Said, Adam, come with me downstairs. Adam came downstairs and he saw his brother and sister. He started freaking out. He grabbed Adam by the arm with one arm. And with the other arm holding that bat, he took out Adam. Y'all, this man was psycho. And so then, after he did, he covered everybody up. He claimed he blacked. Well, no, actually, no. He didn't even claim he blacked out. He didn't even claim he blacked out. Where is it? when he was being arrested, and he told them the first story I told you. The first story was that he showed up after an argument and he found the kids downstairs. And then he went up to her, and then he found, he blacked out when she said, "Are you not satisfied? Are you satisfied? What was it? Are you satisfied?" That's what he told them. The police, they were like, "No, that ain't what happened," because they found red bodily fluids that matched everybody on the bed that he purchased the day before. Apparently, he didn't realize they could go back and do purchase records and credit card records and stuff like that. But he went down, y'all. He went down and he was crying and screaming. And he says, while he was crying, let me put this ugly bitch on here. "My beautiful kids, I don't regret K-wording that fucking bitch, but my kids, K-wording, my kids." To this day, he has not admitted to taking out the kids. He stands 10 toes down that his wife was the one that did it, and he didn't do it. But the damning evidence is, once again, you purchased that bat. You never not once purchased any tickets to go to Dubai like you said you was. Instead, you took a ticket to Bangkok. And even though it had a round trip that was set for the 18th, he didn't come back until his brother convinced him to come back. Yep. As y'all already know, I don't really go over the whole court, proceedings and all this shit, because there's just too much to go through. Well, you already know the story. But I will say this, that after 2 hours of deliberation, he was sentenced to life in prison. He was found guilty by a jury of 8 women and 2 men. 2 men? I would have thought it would have been 4 men to be 12. But I wrote 8 women and 2 men. So I don't know, maybe 8 women and 2 men. And he was sentenced to life. Now, this is the UK, the United Kingdom. As we know, life is not actually life. Life in there is like 25 years. He was only 36 when this happened. He could get out in... I'm so bad at math. I cheated in math, so I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me figure out this math problem. 36 plus 25. That's 11. 3, 4, 5, 6. He can get out at like 61. Thank you, maybe Heather. Because there is no real life. Life is life. They don't play. I ain't never heard this for the UK. As a matter of fact, the United States, as far as I know, is one of the few places where life actually means life. We have life with parole, the possibility of getting out, but it's life. Like a lot of countries, life is like 25, 30 years, and that's it. But yeah, that is the story. Now, with that being said, because remember, he hasn't confessed to doing the kids. He said he loved his kids. Everybody that was there was like, no, he adored his kids. He would never have done that to his kids. He was such a nice man. Do y'all think he did the kids too? Do y'all think he did the kids? Choking hole with rainbows. Of course, hell yeah. I was just sitting there like, what's the point? Like, granted, now, if he took the kids to Pakistan and threw away their passports and left them with the mom. If you can do that to your kids and then spend 10 months just traveling around messing with floozies, maybe so. Maybe, yeah, he did it. Yeah, and plus it was with the same bat. The same bat. I mean, that is such a harsh way to go. Like, in the UK, I know pew-pews are really, you don't really find those in the UK like that unless they're smuggled in, I guess. But you don't really hear a lot of pew-pew stories in the UK. So I guess it's expected that there will be another weapon of choice. But a bat? Choking Ho says he definitely did it. Plus, he probably, let me read this comment. Probably thought they wasn't his anyway, which made it easier for him. I don't know. I don't know. What happened to Nikki? As far as we know, the affair with Nikki ended in April of 2006. So, he dodged a bullet. Thank you, Hannah Lou, for those cats. Motive. She didn't want to be married to first cousin or have kids. It was forced. She wanted Nikki. So Trina, hold on, wait. So Trina, you think that Uzma did the kids? Is that what you're saying, Trina? Trina Loves. Y'all, we had 300,000 likes. Y'all did it just on time too. I said 300,000 likes. Y'all waited to the last minute, but you did this shit. I can't do nothing but applaud y'all. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna get it. But y'all proved me wrong yet again. Y'all are fucking amazing. I love y'all. I can't wait for next year. Because I already got a plan. It's already set in motion. I'm going to be here next year. Next year, as far as videos go, is really going to be... we'll talk about that later. So right now, we're in this case right here. Hands up. Hope you well. Thank you, Jaron. I am well. Thank you. Answer me, boy. What I do, Taylor? What you say? Hold up. Alan, did you watch The Perfect Neighbor? No, because I have no idea what that is. He dodged a bat. Oh, you going to hell? QB loves food. You going straight to the pits. To the pits is where you're going. So, Trina, you said you think that she did it. You said that she wanted to be with Nikki. Y'all know what? But the thing is, it was the same weapon that was used. If it was a different weapon, I might be more inclined to believe it. But it was the same weapon. He bought the bat the day before. It's too much of a coincidence. So let's say he bought the bat the day before, but he did like hours before he took them out. He took the kids to an amusement park. Why do that? That makes no sense. Damn, Trina, you got me thinking maybe she did do it. Hold the hell up. He made her watch. Hold on, wait, there's too many comments coming through. But the weapon was in the house. She wouldn't have been so messy about it. And the planned trip, he did it, no question. He's guilty. Why did he buy the bat for? I think he was planning on committing a crime. I do think so. It's just the kids. That's the only thing. But now Trina raised a good point. She resented her cousin. She didn't want to be in an arranged marriage. She wanted Nikki. Even though Nikki was married to Musarat. And Musarat was watching her kids. That's the crazy thing. Like, you homewrecker. But she wanted Nikki. She had kids by a man that she hated. I don't know. I don't even think she hated the man. Wait. He made her watch. Made her watch what? No. She was taken out before the kids. I don't think she watched it. To give them one last good memory. Lyrics maybe, man, I don't know. That makes it worse, in my opinion. She used the bat on the kids, and then he took the bat to her. See, that's what he says. He said that he came in, the kids were already gone, and he ran to her, and she said, "Are you satisfied?" And then he just grabbed the bat and did what he did to her. But if that was the case, then why not call the police? I guess because he took her out. but he still had that planned one-way ticket. I guess no, he did it. No, you ain't gonna confuse me, Trina. He did that shit because I believe he was planning on doing that to her because that's why he bought the bat. There's no reason why he bought that. There's no other reason why he bought that bat. It was too convenient. Now, he wouldn't have planned on taking her out and then leaving the kids alone and then taking a trip to Bangkok. It would have been better if he would have like left the kids with family and say he was taking her to Bangkok and then took her out. But no, he did that shit. He did that shit. I mean, she could have been with nigga regardless. His wife was watching the kids anyway. He ain't care. You right about that. Who said she did not use it before he come home? See, Trina almost confused me with her mind powers. And I was about to agree with her. But no, that one ticket, he bought one ticket to get out of there. And he bought that bat the day before. If it weren't for those two things, I might believe him a little bit. If they already had the bat, I might would have believed him. But she might try to frame it. He didn't think works jail either. I don't know. The happy place before they see was coming to him. Makes no sense, but giving him a great last day, at least he could do. I don't know, y'all. I don't think she did it. I think he did. Oh, she could have left them in Pakistan. True, she could have left them in Pakistan. He did, then made them watch, and then he did made her watch. Where you get that information from, Queen Decams? Because I ain't find that information. I ain't find that information. The last happy place, Guilt made him take the kids. He only bought one ticket, like sort of a last meal. Premeditated. He didn't think they were his children. I don't know. No, he did it in Skip Town. Yeah. If she did it, she would have left before he got back. Maybe. Okay, so hear me out. Hear you out what, pretty princess? He lied about the trip, though. He did lie about the trip. One last trip because he knew he was going to do and feel guilty. But then, now, I will say this. He did say that he thought about attempting to take himself out, but he just never, he couldn't make himself do this. I'm still a little conflicted. The trauma for what he did caused him to create a different narrative so that lived with what he did. Maybe. Sunshine says maybe the bat was to use in the taxi in case he got jumped. But the day before, if he bought it a month before or, even 2 weeks before, I might would be more inclined to believe. But he bought it the day before, y'all. He definitely did it so he can be in Thailand with the lady boys. Taylor Burrows. Remember I told y'all about Thailand? There's only 2 reasons why I ever heard about people going to Thailand. Well, 3. One is if you live there or if you have family there. 1 is for lady boys, and 2 and 3. The last one is for certified lover boy, certified. Those. No, there ain't too many reasons to go to Thailand. It ain't for the food. Food ain't that good. We got Thai food down the street. One good memory before he took. I just don't understand why the one good memory thing. He lied. Lyrics made me. How did she know the bat was there? Well, if he bought it and brought it to the house, maybe she just saw it. I don't know. It wasn't their last memory. You're right. Well, the only one that would have really saw it, I guess, would have been. I don't know. It was the Adam. Adam's the one that had saw, really. But who knows what was said? I guess you're right about that because everybody's gone. Who knows? She probably didn't even say that. Well, I don't think she said it. And that's why she's never. He did it. He bought a ticket to Bangkok. You about right on that. That man had an entire plane. You right. Only one ticket. Yeah. From Chris Watts' story. It is very much like Chris Watts. Y'all, these comments are coming in so fast. I can't even read them all. If he wanted kids, he would have took them while she was in Pakistan. You right, Himiko no Hiro. Himiko no Hiro. Himiko no Hiro. Is that just a name, or are you in Japan? Well, no one's ever said they've been to Japan, so never mind. Don't answer that stupid question. Yeah, you right. If he wanted the kids, then when she was in Pakistan, he would have kept the kids. But he was like, fuck them kids. So I guess, right. I just watched the story, and this goddamn, you're hilarious. No one's gonna see her ankles but me. He only wanted to see his cousin's ankles. I'm telling you. Also, I don't want to speak on other cultures because, things we do look weird to other people. But I will say this, I've never liked the idea of like arranged marriages because we can all agree stuff like that is always about controlling the women. It ain't necessarily for the men. Well, it's for the men, but it's for the men to have control over the women. Man, it really seems like being a woman sucks. Except if you're like in America, in the UK, or some place where you have a lot more freedoms. And even in America, it ain't really all that awesome. But at least here you can be a slut. And, people be like, yeah. You can't do that in other places. They might stone you. That's enough. You gained a follower. Thank you, that's enough. But it ain't it. Because be here every week and we talk about some other crazy story. I'm actually already looking for a story for next week. As a matter of fact, this was actually going to be a YouTube story. But it took so long to research all this shit because there were so many articles. And I was reading over that I was like, fuck it. And that's why I just did a quick little TikTok video. I said, I'll talk about it tomorrow because it was just too much. What trainer doing to you? He has one ticket. Trainer, if this is your first time, don't worry. We all talk shit to each other. No, we don't. We do. Y'all talk shit to me. God dog it. It's still odd for her to do it after the affair was over. Maybe she was mad because he made her break up with her boyfriend. Because think about it. Who wants to be with their first cousin? God. It's the one ticket for me. You right. Like, I don't know. Culturally, they don't have many single dads in Pakistan because they all with their cousins. OMG, I just watched. He did for sure. No, come on, guys. He did that. Rare for the mother to take out her kids. Not impossible, but rare. You're right. It's not impossible, but it is rare, Renee. It is rare. Did he actually do it to the kids? That's what the courts decided that he actually did it to the kids. He was spiteful. Same how he got rid of his kids with passports the first time. You right about that. The first time he got them passports and he ditched them. They were stuck in Pakistan. The families had to come together to help them get back to Manchester. And honestly, she was only in Manchester because she married her first cousin. I would have stayed in No, I wouldn't have. No, as a woman, I would not have stayed in Pakistan. Let me stop lying. I would have got my ass right up on out of there. Hey, y'all, how deep in are we? I'm going to let somebody else answer that question. Oh, Pooh Bay, you already answered it. He took those kids out, no doubt. I'm just talking shit. This was a crazy story. It is a crazy story. There ain't no divorce in some cultures, so that part is weird. Well, like I said, lately he filed fake divorce papers. So that's what I was trying to figure out. Is it fake divorce papers with a judge? I was like, how do you file fake divorce papers with a judge? Maybe he filed them, but he didn't. Maybe you got to finalize or like follow up or some shit. I don't know. But he filed fake divorce papers. So maybe that's the reason why they never actually technically got a divorce, because they can get a divorce. Who knows? The food is good over there. It ain't that good, Medusa. Do you have a headache? Your scar looking different, and mine's like that when I have a headache. No, I look like this at all times. I woke up like this. looking like I have a headache. He was being spiteful. Same how he got rid of them kids' passports first time. You right about that. Damn, how many comments on here? They better not have none of us witnesses or sitting on our jewelry. What you mean? Maybe the daughter walked in while he was doing it. That's why he took them out. Well, he took them out too. Maybe. But all I know, he took the kids one by one. That's what, according to all the evidence, because he's never confessed to that. The evidence in the court, that's what they said he did. So instead of confronting the man, he takes out his family. Look at this. That man don't look like he can fight. My little brother could take his ass. Hell, I could take him. And I ain't no fighter. Shit. That man look like... Never mind, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Never mind. She had that good. She Michael Jackson bad. And I'm attracted to her for her attractive ass. And now we murderers because we kill time. I knock her lights out and she still shine. I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave. But I keep her running back and forth like a soccer team. Cold as a winter's day, hot as a summer's eve. Young money bees, steal your heart with ease. I like the way she walking if she walking my way. I'm that Red Bull, now let's fly away. Let's buy a place with all kind of space. I'll let you be the judge, and I'm the case. I'm gooder. All right, guess he got tired of being played by the big bag. Now, granted, y'all, look, he was no saint. She claimed that he was abusive. So, he's no saint. And then he got a kick out of his cousin, so weird all around. At least for me. I'm not going to talk about nobody's culture. I mean, what the fuck? I'm talking about anybody. Who cares? Honor K-wording is a real thing. I have no idea what that is. We are the most hated and disrespected. Who are? No more. Oh, one more. I got a load of cases you love. Well, Juhel, send me some. You doing another one? Hell no. I've been here for almost 2 hours, y'all. I fell asleep. What happened? You talking about you fell asleep? Sleep on me? Sleep on me? What she said? You want to sleep on me overnight? I'm the motherfucking boss. Overright. Y'all can tell I really like Young Money. Who are we discussing? This was Rahan Arshad. He was jealous and trying to make her jealous. That's why he pretended he got married. I believe so too. Because Miko Nahiro, like it said there was rumors that he went and got married. So a lot of people thought he got married, although he did. He claimed that it wasn't true. I believe that when he called her, was mocking her over the phone. He told her, I found somebody else when I got married. Yeah, because he did file fake divorce papers right prior to that. So yeah, that most likely is not true. And also because if you go through all the evidence and all the articles and stuff like that, everything said the rumors were he found another woman that got married, but there was no who she was, where she was, when. There was none of that. So I think he probably just made it up to try to make her mad, because he used to call her fat, ugly, nasty, stinky, and make her cry over the phone all the time. Wait, was this the first story or the second story? This was the only story. Are we getting another story? No. He would have had 4 tickets instead of 1, but if he didn't do it. You're right about that. Divorce is not an option. You can still leave, I think. Well, then he would have to pay child support. Yo, man, that sucks. Man, that would sucks. Marianne, first cousin, very normal there. Marianne, first cousin, very normal there. Also in Dubai. Like I said, that's something that's always amazed me, because you would think if the genetic possibility, I mean, it does escalate the chances of genetic issues, but for as many cultures and stuff that actually do that, you would think there would just be a bunch of defects that would be seen. But apparently it doesn't happen enough to stop it. So you already did 2 stories. I want an arranged marriage because dating in 2025 is stressful. Not with my cousin though. Sunflower, you can't have it both ways. If you want an arranged marriage and look at your cousin every day, or you want to get out there like everybody else, which one you want? Tell me. When he was abusing her, was he abusing the kids? There was no evidence towards that. Now, there was one thing. One of the kids did come out and say, well, of course, not after the story, for obvious reasons, but it was said that the oldest child, which was Adam, was scared of his father. So I don't know if he actually did stuff to the kids, but he was doing something that them kids ain't like. He was doing something the kids ain't like. Damn, I done missed it. K-Bless, I don't know what to tell you. So you know the women there cannot travel without a chaperone. Another reason why being a woman sucks in a lot of places. I ain't gonna say just in general, but in a lot of places. It feels like it just sucks to be a woman. Man. For it is a sin to force people to get married, but they do it as they please. Yeah. Once again, that's a cultural thing outside of my scope. So I'm not even gonna say too much on that because I don't want no one to say anything to me. I think the kids seen it and they got scared and he off them. I would imagine they would have at least heard something. 200,000 pounds is a lot, but that house ain't that big. And if he was doing what he was doing up in that bedroom, they heard something. That's probably the reason. You know what? He probably was not planning on doing anything to the kids, but they probably heard and he knew they would have told. I'm late. What's going on? Who is this? Well, my name is Trey, and sometimes I get on here and I show people my nipples. Nikki wife did it. Musadat? I don't know, because if Musadat would have did it, then what the woman name is, Uzma would have not said, "Are you satisfied?" I literally just seen him at 7-Eleven. You going straight to hell, Taylor. To the pits. With some gasoline draws on. A stranger could not get the kids to come one by one. Well, he was her father. Oh, well, you talking about Nikki. So you're right about that. Oh, you're right about that. But he wouldn't have been a stranger because Musadat was babysitting him. So obviously the kids would have known Nikki or would have seen him at least. So you freestyle or is that a rap already? Y'all don't know Young Money? Y'all don't know about Lil Wayne and Tyga and well, I don't think he's Young Money. But I was not freestyling. I can't freestyle to save my life. Let's do a story about Antoinette Frank Black, cop in Louisiana on death row. Oh, send that to my DMs. Let's see. He seems very cocky and aggressive on police footage. I did see some of the police footage, and it was crazy. A stranger cannot get the kids. I feel like cheating on your cousin should be permitted. You know what? You about right. I know y'all probably wonder, like, I'm at these comments way down because there's so many comments, and I'm like scrolling. Pretty eyes, you missed everything. Damn, where you was at? Honor K words are when are done when someone feels disrespected and has to correct it. You know, they could just do seppuku. They ain't gotta do this to other people. Hey, do a story about internet. Oh, we already heard that one. He admits to using the bat on a wife. Did he explain how bat was conveniently located? He said he blacked out. I am Kathy asked this. She said he admits to using bat on the wife. Did he explain how bat was conveniently located? He claimed that when he confronted his wife and she said, "Are you satisfied?" He said he just blacked out. Then my head hit the wall. Bam. And he said he just grabbed the first thing that was around him, which conveniently was the bat that he just conveniently bought the day before, which was conveniently in the bedroom with his wife. I know the family reunion be so aggressive, so aggravating when you marry your cousins. Maybe. Man. When she turns to him and be like, thank you, Daddy. Does no, I don't even want to go that far. Or at least put it on YouTube this time. I've been putting them on YouTube. Are you going to upload the India story to YouTube? What India story? What are you talking about? Wait, we're not getting another? Hell no. Man, church around long and I miss your story. Always put God first. I was going to say something really crazy. Y'all know, I sometimes I talk before I think about what I'm going to say. They also marrying cousin and heels have eyes stable. See, in American movies, when they marry cousins, you get the heels have eyes people. They be like, but in real life, you marry your cousin and y'all just be having regular kids. If he didn't have her, he didn't want the kids. Am I right? They have mental issues. Well, they were cousins, so yeah. Listen, I'm black American and people marry cousins, even the USA. Also, you can marry cousin I. Also, you can marry cousin I. I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can marry cousins in some places. It's just weird. In American culture, it's weird. I'm not gonna say that for other cultures because I'm not up in this. But I'm sure he knew they didn't. They knew he didn't like their ass probably. Come on, Trey, do another one, please. I ain't doing shit. Respectfully, I love you so much. This is my religion, but I am black and American, so we do not do forced marriages. Great. I hope not. And once again, I don't mean to disrespect nobody because I understand people have different beliefs. That's all I'm going to say about this. Oh, yeah, okay. Ah! Woo! I'm just going to slow down. I never get notifications. What time we go live on Sunday? 2 o'clock! Thank you, Lauren, and thank you, Little Twins. Thank you, I'm Kathy. Thank you, Deja. Thank you, Queen Pixie. I guess those ankles weren't lotion. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Italian family married their cousins. And once again, all the kids be normal. Daddy cousin. Warning, careful on things you say on here. Yesterday I was posted DM someone and it was let me explain. That's not what we do. And someone commits adultery. I was driving these kids around. I'll let you, you always good in my eyes, pretty eyes. I love Young Money. Lady was taking her kid. Y'all better stop accusing that lady for taking her kids out. The way you pronounce the names. Did I say I'm wrong? Most times the disabilities are not physical. That is a good point. What did I say? I said we do not care. Are you Muslim? Hey, y'all, don't argue in the comments. This is the one place we're not supposed to argue. Okay? We point all of our anger at the shitheads. We don't point anger at yourselves. Now, class, do not do that. I don't want to write y'all up now. I don't know how, but we're all friends here. All right? We're all friends here. Person said we do things we do not. That was rude. Apologize to Serendipity Soaps and Sorts. Apologize to her. Who upset Serendipity? Apologize because we're all friends here. Because we're not arguing in the comments, y'all. Supposed to be friends. I talk shit. Y'all don't. Come on now. Benjamin. I said. Oh, they arguing? I don't know. All I'm saying is one person coming, so I don't even know what's going on. But for real, chill out. All right, y'all. At least cook with us again. Maybe. You can get married to someone in the States when you're 14 if you have your parents' approval, I believe. Which I think is still weird. Why the hell would you let your 14-year-old get married? Posting on YouTube. It's going on YouTube. It's going on YouTube, y'all. We had 353,000 likes, which is freaking amazing. All right, y'all. I've been sitting here talking to y'all for 2 straight hours. I'm tired. Tired of the way he treats me. If you guys have any suggestions, please hit my DMs. Please hit my DMs. And I will take a look this week and I will try to find something that we can do for next week. If I don't find anything interesting, then I'm going to find another one another way. But, yeah. We need more than one story. Not when a story took 2 hours. So I missed it. Kiana, I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this, baby. It's over. It's over. It's gone. I'm done. I did. It's over with. I've been here for 2 hours. Are you going to get a new sign? I was actually thinking about getting a new sign. I really was. But that sign was given to me by some people that want to be promoted. So I got it for free. And to realize that shit fell while I was not at home and broke. Do I want to buy it? Because I'm saying, like, if that shit, it was only here. Y'all, it's like 4 feet off the ground. If it fell and did that, why would I spend money on it? It was fun. Maybe if I was able to get it to really stick, you know, it would be all fine and dandy. Because it was, I ain't gonna lie, it was fun. And I really did like it. But they can't make it a little more durable. Everybody go watch The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix. Taylor Burrows, are you in it? If I get up on there and I find you in there, I'll be like, there go Taylor Burrows. Where can I buy one? I had I better not be. I don't know where I had it was I think I made a video on my page for it. I think I made a really good page for it. Alright, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I know we still got like 350 y'all sitting here. But Aubrey said you can find it on Temu. And you do stories like that. It's so fitting for the live. And you do stories like that. It's so fitting for the live. Do stories like what? What are you talking about? You don't love us. You wouldn't leave. The fuck? I do love y'all. I love y'all. And I can't wait for next year when my account starts growing again, because I'll be able to actually do some real shit. I haven't really done anything this whole year. But next year, y'all gonna be getting a lot out of me. Because I can't tell y'all. I keep telling y'all the shit, but I can't tell y'all stuff because there's a lot of paperwork and stuff going in. And if I say stuff, I feel like the evil eye is gonna block everything. Y'all know God don't like you to tell shit. He say write it down and make it known, but don't tell nobody. But I do love y'all. I love you guys. Bye, class. Oh wait, before we go, who's new here? Is anybody new here? Sandy says she's new. Kimber is new. Kayla is new. Wait, you stay right there. I gotta write a letter for y'all. Oh, y'all lying. Anyway, if you are actually new, then I want to welcome you guys to the class. Welcome you guys to, I don't know what I call this. I don't really call it anything. But I will be here next week, which is Sunday. I don't know what day it is. But Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. But I'll look forward to seeing at least most of you guys next week. And as Taylor Burrows has said, watch The Perfect Neighbor. Watch The Perfect Neighbor. Because it is on Netflix. And Taylor is in it. Okay? And the first person that points her out gets a prize. And I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. And I'll see you guys. Thank you, Tasha. October the 26th. Thank you, Lauren. I always love seeing you here. Y'all have a good day. Be safe. Be safe. And remember, if you ever feel like someone can take you out, they will. Power to the people. Who the hell is Taylor? You don't know Taylor? You don't know Taylor Burrows? The Taylor Burrows that be on my lives? Taylor Burrowing? You don't know Taylor Burrow? Well, you know, she's here. So anyway, y'all have a good one. Peace out.